Look, Maronan Metals is ticker MMA, as Abby said. We have approximately 315 million shares on the register. Our current market cap's around 130 million Australian dollars. In this talk, what I want to do is I'll talk a bit about the Maronan project. So what is the project? We'll talk about the status of that and the work that we have underway. I need some notes because I screwed up the other night, so I thought I'd try and keep on track. The Maronan deposit is a very large deposit, and I don't think people in Australia truly appreciate how big this is. We're talking 120 million ounces of silver metal in ground, 2 million tonnes of lead, 270,000 tonnes of copper, and 750,000 ounces of gold. That's a few truckloads of metal. That's a lot of in-ground value. It was discovered in the 1980s at about the same time as Cannington was discovered. We're 60 kilometres south of Cloncurry and about 90 kilometres from Cannington. And BHP got quite distracted with Cannington, and I certainly don't blame them for that. It's an incredible deposit. We have very similar mineralogy, very similar metallurgy, and very similar metal balance, except for this has had a copper-gold deposit come in quite late in the formation of the mineral system. So the two ore types are in very close proximity. They'll be mined from the same underground infrastructure and processed through the same processing facility. Just for scale, if you head from here down to the other end of Hastings Street, then you will have got along the strike length of the ore body. So it's about 1 kilometre, and we know about it to about 1.2 kilometres below surface. So in total, it's 60 million tonnes of mineralisation, 30 million tonnes of silver lead at 100 grams per tonne silver and 5% lead, and 30 odd million tonnes of copper-gold mineralisation at about 0.7 copper and about 0.6 gold. What does that really mean? Well, it's about 25 billion Australian dollars worth of metal. The in situ grades give it very high value. So the silver lead ore has a net smelter return. So once we've paid all our costs and recovered all our metal and everything, it's worth about $400 a tonne at today's price. So that's pretty attractive. By the time you take your capital out and your mining costs, you're still left with a very healthy margin. If you want to put it into some other scales, and where else is there a 4 million ounce gold deposit that's not in Ecuador? And 4 million ounces, that's a very, very attractive deposit. This is about 4 million ounces gold equivalent, or roughly 260 million ounce silver equivalent. So just to get a perspective of how large this project really is and the opportunity that presents to us. It has great metallurgy. We've made very, very high quality concentrates from the met test work that we've done, and it's in some rocks that are pretty easy to mine. I told you I'd get lost. So we're 60 k's south of Cloncurry. We're in a really prolific mineral production area. There's a lot of large-scale operations going on and not too far away from us, so it's a very good jurisdiction. I would say Tier 1A, so it's very good. We've got a really supported community around us, very supportive landholders, and thankfully a very supportive shareholder base, many of whom are here today that have helped us get to where we are. We should also pay tribute to Red Metal, who vended this project into MMA, and they kept it in good standing for as long as they have and did some tremendous work. So we're very grateful to the work that they have done and the support that they have given us through the project. Look, we did a scoping study in October last year on a small portion of the resource, and you can find all the metrics for that on our website. But it's a much bigger proposition than that. And it's our job to materialise that proposition and make a very long mine life. So we're working now currently on a 2 million tonne per annum PFS for a 10-year mine life. So that'll get us started. With that is a 40,000 kilometre drill program, 40,000 metre, 40,000 kilometres is a bit silly, but 40,000 metre drill program. We have 2 rigs operating and a third one coming. We'll target converting inferred resource into indicated resource to support that PFS, and we'll have that PFS completed about June 2027 is our target. So it's quite a big program of work. Lots of geotech, lots of metallurgy, all the other environmental studies, infrastructure studies are all well advanced, and a lot of that is already at PFS level, and we just keep the program going. We're 100% convinced that this is going to be a mine, and it's really just about how quickly we can get all the ducks in a row to get it happening. So in summary, MMA, it owns a single project in Queensland, near infrastructure, in an operating environment. We have a great team of professionals in place to help us, a great team of shareholders. We recently took a $22 million placement from Cloncurry Capital out of North America. So we're fully funded. We have about $33 million in the bank. We're fully funded through that program. We have a mineral development licence or approval to put in an exploration decline that sits there ready and waiting for us. We're well advanced on mining licence approval applications with the Queensland Government. The Office of the Coordinator General will visit our site next week and review what we've been up to, and Andrew and his team will look after her. So lots of activity happening, lots of news flow coming. So please go and have a look at MMA, and if you're not confident in the story that I've told, there's some very good research done by GBA Capital and Rawson Lewis, and some recent work by Chris Brown from Morgan. So thank you very much.